Check.
At,
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, Smashcast,
it was
Instagram. We are live.
Yeah, and
T. Barlow and Ben Webb still having a conversation.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Look,
we're not live.
Oh, we live?
But we live.
When you're not ready for me to start that though, right?
No.
Okay. Oh yes.
Omaha's #1 Christian hip hop radio show, The Humble Kingz.
Y'all can keep playing.
Don't be deceived by all them sweets they say. Work, eat, work, eat, work. Don't be deceived by all them sweets they say. Work. You hear what I'm saying? What you talking about? They always say. What you talking about? My boy said all we got. The ain't as deep as me. I'm talking about 100 racks. That's why I'm down in G. Ain't placed no songs last year. I'm facing all my fears. Something gas your head up, sounding like a chipmunk. I'm in that drought. As seasons change, they're gonna change. I know my name. What's my name? Son of God. What's the game? Showing love. No matter what they're gonna say, we still gotta look to heaven's gates. Work. Don't be deceived by all them sweets they say. Work, eat, work, eat, work. Don't be deceived by all them sweets they say. Work. What they say, let them bring you down. You hear what I'm saying? What you talking about? They always say. What you talking about? Can't get on the tours now. They talking sound scans. Agencies don't want me now. They talking more fans. Album sales been kinda low. He ain't rocking many shows. Blood, sweat, and tears drip. This is the return I get. Distribution won't pay out. Mortgage company has the doubts. Artist fans wanna go for grind. I say embrace your full time. They chase that deal. Dreams are not real. Need to chase the real. King above, I'm talking zeal. What's my name? Son of God. What's the game? Showing love. No matter what they gonna say, we still gotta look to heaven's gates. Work. Don't be deceived by all them sweets they say. Work, eat, work, eat, work. Don't be deceived by all them sweets they say. Work. What they say, let them bring you down. You hear what I'm saying? What you talking about? They always say. What you talking about? Deep inside the flame still burns, and I don't know why. Blown out so many times, but it's still on fire. Can't stop my mind from questioning. Is it my sin I'm wrestling? Examine my every motive and why I keep on going. Polluted by the mainstream, cleansed by Elohim. Numbers really don't mean a thing. First go point them to the king. Stop chasing rainbows, there is no goal. Chase his promise for you to hold. What's my name? Son of God. What's the game? Showing love. No matter what they gonna say, we still gotta look to heaven's gates.
Somebody gave this to me years ago. He's like, here, I'm giving it to you.
Wow.
And
wow, that's really nice.
And it was right on time because I had to read
Humble
8 chapters.
Kingz radio show.
Are you tired of hip hop sounding
Ready
like
for me to
this?
start?
Yep.
Whoopie dee scoop. Scoop dee dee whoop. Whoop dee scoop dee poop.
If so, listen to the Humble Kingz radio show, Omaha's #1 Christian hip hop radio show.
Now don't let me know when you're ready. Don't start it. Just tell me when you're ready.
Wait, hold on. I canceled it.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah. Tell me when you're going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show, The Humble Kingz.
What's going on, world? This is the Humble Kingz radio show, and you're listening to
DJ Flyness
In the House, and T. Barlow in the seat right now. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yo, grace and peace, man. I'm so glad to be here. Instagram, what up? Facebook, what up? Everybody else, what up?
Yes.
How y'all doing?
Shout out to everybody who's listening live on Instagram right now on our pre-show. I always say pre-show. On our sneak peek recorded episode for the following week. We have Ben Webb, funny man Ben Webb, in the house today.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Say what's up to everybody like you did right there.
Yeah,
so
somebody said he beat you to it.
yeah, so we're gonna talk to him when we get in. This is gonna be a real good conversation. I met Ben at I can't remember the first one that we did. What was the name of it? But some comedy shows that I've been DJing for, and real good guy, real funny guy. You guys are really gonna enjoy this interview. We're gonna talk about how he got into the business, how long he been doing it. Maybe he'll tell us some jokes and things like that.
Dang, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. We just put him on the spot.
Yeah.
So I'm actually finna play this song called Showbiz. This is kind of a funny song by the Dream Junkies. And then we'll come back and we'll get with Ben.
Sounds good to me.
Nice.
Sounds good. All right, Humble Kingz, y'all.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? This your boy K-Drama, and you're checking out the Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show.
Hey, I be at the shows on time. No, you don't. You could say that's a byproduct of my white privilege. At the shows on time.
No, you don't. I'll be smoking cigarettes.
You could say that's a byproduct of my white privilege.
He ain't got no white privilege.
They expect me to be on time.
No, they don't. Cause they got black people.
I showed up to the show a little early, ready for sound check. You told me, what are you doing? You shouldn't be around yet. Well, I didn't know I'll be penalized for being punctual. Why are you getting energized and acting like the people didn't come to listen? Anyway, what is the subsystem? She said, what subsystem? The one you agreed to provide so the people are feeling the vibe, but we don't want the show to start 3 hours late. Not trying to make you oblige. Of course, we are faithful to rock, but we just want to make sure that this night goes great. Wait. You sure you ain't got to pay? No. Oh, you put it in the mail in a week or so. Okay. Considering that we doing this for low pay, is it okay if we just make sure the sound man stop freaking with the EQ and keep tweaking things that don't need to be touched? Promise you will finish on time, but please don't rush.
Why, oh why do they do me this way? Tell me you wanna go, then tell me to stay. This ain't about money, no, you don't even pay. But we getting love to show, and we came to play. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. That's love.
I'm about to bounce the bouncer on his head, cause he don't know I get him bouncing. Took me for a chump instead. I listened to some Led Zeppelin before I stepped it in belief. Melanin yelling in my ear about the bed that he's sleeping in. After the show, I slap him and go to my little corner. Preparation is my prerogative. Lit in my pockets here, cause I ain't getting paid. They letting the cause of Jesus be the reason for the slavery. Save it, G. I know that he's real and know that he's hating me, but I can smell your laziness. I know that you just playing me for a little sucker with soft way. But you don't know I shoot the fade, but you want off days. Kuna Matata, tell him I'm doing it for the love. You and your partners is trying to keep up, it's not enough. Me and my cuties is on the rise, we coming up. Listen to the crowd, let me yelling and showing love. So why you gotta?
Why, oh why do they do me this way? Tell me you wanna go, then tell me to stay. This ain't about money, no, you don't even pay. But we getting love to show, and we came to play. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. That's love.
You know we brought the vibes to the
function. The blackest of berries, you know I had to punch it. Before we even hit the stage, I got people coming my way to ask me questions about Johnny. They said, I heard it is your little brother. I said, what? They say his sister is your baby mother. I say, nah, that's my wife and I'll never love her. Never, don't tell John. I said, I'm joking. Okay, now John is a beast, yo. Who you think he get it from? John Smoke? I don't know. Who you think he hit it from? Who you think about the least amount belief about? I had enough for talking about John. I ain't trying to party. Say Johnny this, Johnny that, Johnny sing, Johnny rap, Johnny Law's not around. Can you forge his autograph? Sucker, I rap too. I'm proud of him, that's true. But I ain't trying to listen to you. I'm looking at you like,
why, oh why do they do me this way? Tell me you wanna go, then tell me to stay. This ain't about money, no, you don't even pay. But we get in love to show, and we came to play. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Hands up now, get 'em up now. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. That's love. You wanna be from the business? Talking about the show business. Say, do you wanna be with the business? Stay the hell out of our business. Do you wanna be from the business? Talking about the show business. Do you wanna be in the business? Stay the hell out of our business.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? This your boy K-Drama, and you're checking out the Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show.
Yeah. We back, man. You know, that was the Dream Junkies. What's the name of that song?
Showbiz.
Showbiz. The Dream Junkies with Showbiz. And I think that's a proper song for Flyness to play tonight, seeing as how we got somebody who is in the business of showbiz sitting right over here to my right. We already introduced him, Ben Webb. I'm saying that right?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm horrible with names.
Yeah, Webb with 2 W's.
Webb with 2 W's?
No, 2 B's.
I was about to say Webb.
I was trying to tell a joke.
Yeah, he tried. See, leave that stuff to him, and leave it to the professionals.
Yes.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might sprain something.
Hey, so Ben, real quick, man, just give us just like a brief synopsis of who you are, what do you do, how did you get here, just something to kind of get the people some basics about who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm Ben Webb. I am a military brat, oldest son of 2, and so every 3-4 years we bounced around to a new place all my life until age 18. So I had a chance to kind of come out here to Omaha for my Christian degree, master's in Christian ministry, and going into comedy and all that sort of stuff. A brief synopsis of who I am. I'm trying to get it branded and see how it's working, but Ben Webb, Joy on Purpose Comedy. So that's simply, learning, laughter, love, spreading joy on purpose. To God go the glory. Everything I try to do it excellently and well. And to be able to do things on purpose, I've been able to have opportunities to go act up in Florence. Just got done with a fantastic run. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. 4 shows. We originally planned, if we just got 400 people to come to those 4 shows, we would say that's successful. Ended up being 525 came out for that show. And that cast was phenomenal. But under that, acting, roast battling, stand-up, improv, I do all kinds of things to be able to touch people and give God the glory.
Wow. So now, Army brat, masters. Did you actually finish your masters? Or
yes.
Is it a master's in divinity, I'm assuming? Or MDiv, or how
it's an MA.
So, MA? Okay. Yeah. All right, and like into comedy. So what led to that? When you were in school, what was your plan?
My initial plan was my undergrad degree is in radio from the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Okay. And that for a good while there, I was praying, Lord, if you can use me in any way, shape, or form, where I can provide for my family. And I could pursue what I like, use my gifts. Where do you want me to go? And I prayed that for a while. And it was one time after a church service, after everybody's kind of up and shaking hands and, hey, where are we going to go for lunch, that kind of thing. And I heard a very distinct voice gently point my attention. Do you see who that is up front? Sure, that's Pastor Chad. One day I want you up there. So careful what you ask for.
Yeah,
and
right.
so I knew at that time I only had, we were like Christmas, Easter Christians growing up. So I didn't have book and verse. I didn't have theology. I didn't have counseling stuff. So the first place I found was Grace University in Omaha. And I applied there for my master's. I knew I needed maturity. I knew I needed content and all that. So that's where I pursued it. And to go into ministry, that's where I'm going through now. I'm pursuing getting accredited and licensed through the Christian Missionary Alliance through my church. And hopefully the hope is for that to become, even if it's a part-time job, so I could back off on my secular job and do some of the comedy and things like that full-time, I would be over the moon excited. So I'm trying to make things happen, see where they go,
I got you. Yeah. So I always, usually I kind of say this for the end, but it's kind of coming up now. Just wondering, comedic influences over your life. And it's okay if they're not the Christian ones, because let's just face it. Like if me as a Christian artist, I can sit here and tell you, it's like, I had some influences from before I became this that wasn't quite Christian. Yeah, even to this day. But like, what would you say? Like who are some of your inspirations for what you do and how you do?
That's a pretty good one. Sure, there's ways that I word things and see things that I know make me stand out a bit, and I want to keep nurturing that. So I'm thinking of guys like George Carlin and what's his, Eddie Murphy to a degree, just because of his energy, you could not ignore him. Right. There's something about him, like what's kind of coming out is like, I'm not so sure about that, but he delivers it with confidence, and I was like, wow, what is that about? And you have people, the Christian guy Tim Hawkins is excellent. You have Patton Oswalt, that the way he weaves stories, the way he sees things. Gabriel Iglesias, great storyteller, gets you sucked into that. There's just a number of Brian Regan, fantastic, clean comic, and he never tires of developing new material. So guys like that that work that hard, whether they're secular or Christian, they keep me honest. It's like I need to stay hungry.
I like that you brought that up, because here's the thing. Like, I know people prefer stuff to have that adult content with that adult language, right? I've often, and for a long time, even before I became like a Christian artist, like when I was just like a regular run-of-the-mill artist, I always thought that like more talent was shown when you can do it without using profanity, right? And so like, I thought that for rappers. I especially think that for comedians, and it's funny. Like in the last show, I was just talking because we were recalling old TV shows by theme songs, black TV shows by their theme songs, and we brought up Different World, and Sinbad is on that show, and I would say Sinbad was one comedian who I always like admired because he can get on that stage and have you busting out the seams laughing, and at one time did he say anything vulgar or profane?
Unless you're talking about the booty.
Well, I mean, even in talking about the booty, it's like he could have said that in church. It was like it was weird. He had a that's weird. What jokes are you talking about?
He'd be like, man, look at her booty, man. She got a big old booty. That's Sinbad. That's Sinbad.
As guys, we understand, just like the booty, like with clean language and stuff, there's a way to treat it that you can take it to church. You don't have to be too vulgar about it. You can just appreciate it.
I mean, he's saying booty. He ain't saying the bad word.
Exactly.
Which what makes that word bad? You know what? No, we ain't gonna even get into that. But that's the thing though. Like,
he ain't saying donkey.
There's a real talent when I believe when you're able to bring out material to people and not have to sink to lows, and so like I think that's a very admirable trait. Do you find that challenging at all?
Because I feel the temptation quite a bit. I'm reminded of I'm a part of an organization called Big Canvas. It's an improv team, and I'm on the board of directors for them, as well as 2 improv teams that perform on alternating Fridays. And they have this phrase called "play to your highest intelligence." They believe in comedy for everyone, so it's a family-friendly type thing. And so it's not a censorship, how some people negatively view it, that perspective. But if you change perspective and play it to your highest intelligence, it's not that you're ignoring some of those other things. It's just you're choosing to make bolder choices, riskier stuff. And so there's so I know the temptation for me is I also do roast battles. And I've been in 3 and I've won all 3.
Really?
And that's a secular. That's like the Roman Colosseum. There's people drinking. It's in a bar. It's rowdy. All of that. But I know I know how to write for that. And I know I have the ability to write for it. So the temptation is to confuse shock and gasp with laughs. But I want those laughs, those building laughs. They're invested in you, type of thing. And so so to have the discipline to say, I can, but I'm going to choose to. I have the phrase, I want to be clean but not safe. Comedians that are safe, they're not interesting to me. Even some of the cleaner comedians that you have, Jeff Foxworthy or Bill Engvall or those others tours there, they'll push it. They'll have some areas, but you can word it in a way where you can explore that stuff, not be safe, but you could still welcome in anybody. That's what I want to do. So.
That's pretty dope.
I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, Ben's like a very clean. He'll push it a little bit, but it's always clean. So he got that mother hen joke. That's clean, but you push it, but it's still clean.
It's one of my favorites. I love the reactions on that.
I love the mother hen joke.
So what I find fascinating about it, and it has a lot to do with because you and I were talking earlier about like the seminary work I'm doing. One of the things, one of my classes is apologetics and evangelism, and the big theme in that class is being it's being a Christian outside of the church. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like what you're doing is like you're going into areas where some churches would say, hey, you're not supposed to go there. And it's like, well, why not? This is where the people are. Right. And it's like I can go here and I could be a Christian and I can interact and I can build relationships and I can still be me and I'm not compromising anything in my Christianity. I think that's like what you're doing is actually probably I don't know if you realize how huge it is that like the type of work that you're doing now, because like folks are starting to see, well, wait a minute, I thought Christians were stick in the muds, prudes, it's like, and then here are you winning roast battles,
because I have the idea that if I am not performing, I am watching, I am supporting, I'm studying, and I'm learning. And so if for nothing else, it's not the reason is because I love them. Regardless of it. And Jesus went into the dens of thieves and sinners and shared meals with them, with people that said you shouldn't. For whatever reason, he went and still did it. It's that example. It's because he went, I go. And if all I do, quote unquote, all I do is I sit there as a steady witness of, I said I love you, I said I'm going to be here, I support you, I'm cheering you on. I may not approve, hey, all of your material, I love it, all of it, but what you're doing, you're daring to take a risk and get up on that stage and bare your soul, trying to make people laugh. As a human being, I'm here for you, I love you, and I love Jesus. I hide nothing. And so I know that there's a number of those folks that have been hurt by the church. They're more atheist against the church rather than atheist against God. I'm sure you met a lot of those folks. And one after the other, a number of them have said in some small respect that it's harder for them to say all Christians because there's something about I'm there, and they know that's about it. And if they're ready to talk about some things, great, I'll have them. If all they want to do is kind of hang out and joke around or whatever it is, I'm there and I love them. And it's not easy, but Jesus did it, so I should be able to follow too.
Man, that's actually displaying the grace that God has given you. And I think a lot of folks don't get that. Like that's not a compromise for us Christians. Really, like that's literally what we're supposed to be doing. As being Christian in the world that's radically opposed to our Christianity, and showing them like, man, this is really what love look like. Love says, hey, how can I pray for you? Or love says, look, I'm going to support you in the things that I can support. Like you can't support them in everything. I'm not going to support your drug habit. Like stuff like that. I'm not going to support your sexual misconduct. But craft. Thinking of your in terms of your crafting, I'm here for that because you're trying to make people laugh in a world where they just want to cry or be mad and angry. So I think that's a huge thing. We good to go? You want music? What we doing?
Let's get to a song. Give Brandon a little break here.
Ben Webb, everybody, on the Humble Kingz radio show. We'll be right back after this song.
Yes, sir.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Roach, a.k.a. Mr. Hilarious Hope, and you are listening to Humble Kingz, Omaha's premier Christian hip-hop radio show.
I say I did this for the love.
It's Young Zil, the
Say I do this for the love. Yeah, say I do this for the love. Yeah. Look, I'ma paint you a picture, I hope you get it though. I came through with the kind of sound that goes across the globe. I've been choosing to go across, I'm a one night. This music will save the world and let me do the honest. No be saying I'm here, I pass, but it can't be like saying I'm you, the blessed boss. No weapon formed against me, will they ever prosper? Give me any other reason, we gon' make me drop by. Yeah, I do it for the love of the gospel and love for my God. Love for the music, rapper, off a prop, man, and no, say I no go ever stop. I do this for the love though. I do this for the love, though. For the love, yeah. We going gradually, we going gradually. We do this gradually, we do this gradually. We going gradually, we going gradually. We do this gradually, we do this gradually. I can't explain the kind of love you give to me. Don't deserve that kind of love you show to me. Said I've been running circles for a long time, but you wanna take me in when I come back. I've always been the one that you call son. I'm sorry for the times that I felt it. Oh no, thank you for saving me. Yeah. Oh no, thank you for saving me. I'm grateful. So I do it for the love of the gospel and love for my God. Love for the music, rapper, off of pop, man, and no, say I know go else. I do this for the love, though. Do this for the love, though. Oh yeah, do this for the love, though. I do this for the love, though. Do this for the love, though. Oh no, for the love, though. I do this for the love, though. Do this for the love, though. Not for the money, yo. I do this for the love, though. For the love, yeah. We go gradually, we go gradually. We do this gradually, we do this gradually. We going gradually, we going gradually. We do this gradually, we do this gradually. Gradually, yeah, gradually, yeah. Gradually, You know what it is. I do this for the love, Kasi Mungu angenimaliza. I do this for the love, What I meant, if it wasn't for God, they would have killed me a long time ago. We don't do this for the money, bro. Even though we get paid in the process, bro. We do this for love. It's easy to see, we got hearts in the heart to go and do it. Give me Nigeria, I give you Kenya. They never saw us coming, man, tumepenya. Wacha tuwaje hiki paji. Si ya binadamu ni Mungu tu anajaje. We don't do it for fame, but rather his name, we gon' do it. Our music is a journey, tulianza zamani and still we gon' do it. What? King, Limo, Erro. It's our time.
Scott Sims here, and you are rocking with Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show.
You know what? You and these, throw some D's on it, for real?
Throw some D's on it.
I mean, we back.
Man.
With Rich Boy in the background.
Got a problem with D's on a vehicle?
Nah, I don't. see, I almost forgot that. See, I almost said something else. But DJ Flyness on the ones and twos.
Talking about dating.
Yeah. You talking about dating, right? DJ Flyness on the ones and twos. This is T. Barlow, and we here Humble Kingz Radio Studio with Ben Webb. I almost call him Brian. I told you.
Where Brian come from?
I don't know.
Trying to be funny.
I wasn't trying. I wasn't. I'm just. I'm not trying to be funny. I just look that way.
So Ben, real quick.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing stand up? Because you seem like you're a huge student of the game and you've been studying for years.
Yes, I have been a fan all my life. Movies, anything I can soak up, I did. So really, all my life, I have loved it. I have just gotten on stages regularly to start applying my craft to get started November of 2018. So less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when he told me that. Because
Yeah.
when you see this guy stand up, you swear you've been doing it for a long time.
So
thank you, man.
I got a couple of questions. Here's my first question. What's your favorite comedic movie?
Ooh. You know, my go-to, just something to just shut off my brain for a little while, get into it and enjoy it. Dumb and Dumber.
Really? Yeah, okay. I can dig that. Jim Carrey is a genius in his own regards.
Just about every time. Oh, the commitment to it.
Yeah.
That will suck me in every time as a physical comedy commitment.
I mean, from the beginning.
Yeah.
When the girl's not from Australia, but he's saying Australian jokes and he's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then my second question that kind of came, you said you've been doing this for, you said about 2 years, you said? Did I hear
a little less than 2 years.
Little less than two. All right. Have you ever bombed?
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Where you've had... I describe it almost like black hole silence. Yeah. It's worse than just quiet. Yeah. It feels like something opened up in the room and you're under the lights. So thankfully you can only see the first few people that are there. But what you just said almost like opens up some kind of wormhole and all the silent, all the funny and all the noises going. Oh man, I still get chills. I mean, those are the really good learning moments.
Yeah.
But I've had a few where they were horrendous bombs. Yeah, you never forget those, but you also never forget the times where, I mean, just this past show, the Comedy Mafia show, on last month, I got on there, got going, and just about everything was hitting. That crowd just was awesome. Yeah. And both of those things, oddly enough, fuel me in different ways. You know.
Now here's my question. So the nights that, like the bad nights that you had, was it the jokes or was it the crowd? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do those jokes work with a different, do it work with a different crowd? Like gives you a successful night with one crowd as opposed to a particular crowd? Like was it that or was it delivery? Like, what do you think it was? What is it that you learned from the nights that you bombed?
That's a great question. I really think it is a mixture of those. I would say in my experience that it has been more of the crowds than the material, because I take notes after every single open mic, every show I do, even after every show I attend, I take notes as to who did what, all of that. And so comedians will try their jokes and hone them at different spots, because it would be unwise to put your heart and soul writing out different jokes and to try them in one open mic and say you've got a distracted crowd. Say you have a crowd that maybe you went up first, which is notoriously... It's like taking the ice tray, the ice cube tray out of the freezer. If you don't crack that, if you try to dump it in your drink, what's going to happen? This whole big mess is going to fall on the floor.
Right.
You got to crack it open. That's what the openers do, is get you loose, get you laughing, get you happy, so that the headliners come on and just slay the room, right? So sometimes that room could be like that, and if you try jokes there and you just take that one reaction, oh no, that joke was horrible, and you go ahead and file it away. Well, whoa. There's other crowds, other mics. Try them out for at least a full week of mics, or even longer. You know, hone them before you say a joke is bad. Because if a joke does not work in front of different crowds, they'll let you know. But yeah, I've been in front of open mics where I went on after midnight, and there was about 3 or 4 people that were about ready to go home, kind of being polite. So I'd say it's more kind of the crowd there. But I've had my joke writing get sharper and sharper with every bomb, with every success. Different writing challenges like the roast battles. Writing for those is a different beast than writing for stand-up. And I've seen some people try roast battling for the first time and did horribly because they think it's the same as standing on the street corner and cracking on each other.
Right.
And it's not. There is a distinct style.
There's like a science to it.
Oh yeah. You got to be able to study that everything. But I say it's a mixture of it. You've got to be willing to take a risk to bomb every single time, but you deliver it with the confidence like this is the best thing you're going to hear tonight.
So would you say that it would help to like if you know you're trying new jokes, and if you let's say like maybe like you get to a point to where you're starting to kind of like peep the scene a little bit, like you understand like what type of crowd you about to be dealing with, whether or not they've been cracked, whether or not they've been there for too long, whether or not they're loose. Like you start to kind of get those things, and you try new jokes. Like, is it a help to go on stage thinking like, hey, you know, this may bomb, but I'm gonna go out here and deliver it with confidence? Like you ever like Do you think that would help? And just like kind of like expect the bomb, but like still do the jokes like in the way that you practice and wrote them.
Boy,
maybe I'm thinking too hard about that.
I would, yeah, that might be because there's not a whole lot that you want once your name is announced. You don't want a whole lot weighing you down that way. Use it once your name is announced. That is you as a human being. That is you as a brand, as a musician, as a comedian. You take that with full confidence and as little baggage as possible. So I'd say full confidence, the best you can, and then kind of later you just honestly assess. All right, really, how did that joke do? I thought at home when I was writing it, this is A+. The reaction was like B-, C+. And so you got to be honest about the feedback. But everything like last night was my first open mic this year because I've been doing the play rehearsals and then the performances. I just gave myself permission, energy-wise, to say, hey, work. Rehearsal, go home. You don't have to do an open. They know you're a comedian. They know you're invested. They'll be there afterwards. That's how I did it. And so tonight was the first time getting on a stand-up stage, and some of the jokes, it was fun just to be able to deliver it. I shared that I've lost about over 25 pounds in the past couple months, and so I'm kind of in between belt hole weight loss. So it's a wonderful thing where either you have a choice between wearing a medieval corset or having like a loose laundry bag string just that when you drop it on the ground it's kind of in between, not comfortable. So I was going to the grocery store and I thought I picked the right hole. I'm like, I'm good, my pants are gonna stay up. I didn't pick the right one. So I went in there and I was trying out different lines and jokes like I'm nowhere near the deli section, but I almost sold a couple hams in the cereal aisle. It was not good. All that it's not secure when you're bending down and you could feel things start to slip. It ain't good. I'm a good Christian boy, but I almost had a few pagans kind of start to circle around and worship the full moon that I was showing. So it's just, it ain't good. So tried out that stuff with full confidence. Got the crowd in there. Like you deliver it with no doubt, like it's going to work, and more often than not, that confidence is really going to help. I can dig it, man. That was something else I was thinking of.
I got a question here.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Have you ever had to deal with any bad hecklers?
Ooh, there's been a few disruptive ones that have tried. Basically, the kind of people that sometimes it is just substance. Stuff, inebriation, and there's not much you can do except if the bar owner or whatever it is wants to help you out. The comedy manager, the club managers will try to help shut that down because they understand that distracts. And it's not necessarily them. I've had a few that's tried, but overall, I've found for me so far, with my size, and if I go on there with full confidence, for the most part, people either out of respect or fear. Kind of clam up. So I'll use that. But I've had I was on one comedy show. I will never ever forget it. Secular show, about 8 comics besides myself on there. And the worst thing, there was a bachelorette party in the front row, and the whole world was a stage, and they were the stars basically. And they got more and more rowdy. Were disrupting comedians that came after me. And there was one really teeny female comedian that I got up there, maybe 90 pounds soaking wet, just tiny but fierce. She does not back down from anybody, and she knew the bachelorette party would get on her the worst, and they did, and to the point where she started coming back at him, and could you be quiet for the next 10 minutes while I do my set? Really, just that polite. The bachelorette got up, took that as a challenge, and she started going towards the stage to get on there. Little Miss female comedian fired up a taser right there on the stage. Wow. Got that there. Oh yeah, that show was a little interrupted at that point. We had to get the party out of there. To their credit, that the rest of that crowd was there for comedy. They calmed down, focused, and we had a great show afterwards. But I will never forget taser night at the.
Taser night. No,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, she's like, calm down. And this show serves to be as a lesson, folks. Just heckling is just not the way to go. You can mess around and get tased, man.
Right.
We don't. Nah, that's crazy. I had never heard that. I thought you were about to tell me she roasted them. Like, no, she tased them.
Right.
I didn't see that one coming. So wow. Now, I had this question. I was again, this might be something on a philosophical standpoint for as far as comedians go. I once heard Eddie Griffin say or make a distinction between comics and comedians. Is there a difference between a comic and a comedian? Or would you say that there's a difference? Or
I would want to learn more about like did he have anything else to explain that?
So I think I want to say I think he said comics tell jokes, comedians tell stories. I could be wrong. I haven't heard
that. I think you said it right.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard. He's the only person I ever recall actually ever saying
who said that again?
Eddie Griffin.
Was it Eddie Griffin? Somebody said it.
I feel like it was Eddie Griffin. I feel like he said it on a movie too, like Foolish, which is like a movie I haven't seen in like so long. It's a movie about him being a comedian and so forth. Or whatnot. But you know, I just wonder, like, because I know, like, for me, like, as a songwriter, like, there's certain philosophy, like, and it's like I didn't even realize that I have a philosophy and a music theory about certain things that I do until I sat and like actually thought about what it is that I do, or when I'm talking to somebody about that. Like, do you find that it seems to me like you're finding like kind of like a philosophy and a science to the whole thing of it all, like to the writing and all that. Would you say that it was something that it's something that I don't know, like do you how much do you pour into your set, and like your routines and your thought, and I mean like what's your going drive for everything that you're doing when it comes to all of this, if I'm making sense? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the comic comedian thing, I'll have to give that some thought. I think I know what he's driving at now. That for me, the spreading joy on purpose is something that is a underlying foundation that reminds me, that holds me accountable as to why am I doing this and why am I trying to reach out to folks. Because to do improv, you take a stage with a team. To do same thing with acting, you are trusting the other actors. You have to put in your own work for your character. There's no substitute for hard work, but in the end, you share scenes. You trust the other actors. There's a group mentality there. Yeah. One of the things that terrifies people about even thinking about doing stand-up is you're by yourself.
You are absolutely by yourself. Either you've done the writing or you haven't. So there's some that you will see, I think, more comic. On the comic side, they will have written a lot of jokes that they wear like armor, because they know they will provoke, they will get the gasp, they will get reactions. Maybe not as much laughs, but they will get reactions, and that's almost like a buffer, because underneath the armor is this quivering pile of fear that maybe they just smoked a substance or whatever it is off stage, or did what they had to do to try to overcome that. Over time, when you get more comfortable, you're willing to take the risk to be vulnerable and be yourself. And I've got a ways to go. I understand, but I'm realizing the stuff that people are relating to better is just being really honest about who I am. One of the best jokes that landed in this last show was one that I tried out for the first time at that Comedy Mafia show, and it was just me about my church greeting that I do. Just try to be simple. Be yourself. Give them something to connect with the human being, and they will love it. And it's something simple like, that I know I'm a big dude. I'm working on being less big around, but I'm always going to be a big dude. And so people have the idea of, when it comes to physical touch, they shy away a little bit from me. And after a while, you have years of that, you shy away from them out of courtesy. Because they have this idea that if I go out to shake their hand, you see my hand, it's nice and big. It's like, man, if I do that, that dude is going to crush my hand. He's going to consume me. If he doesn't want to let go, I have no choice. So that kneel before Zod, just crush you into the ground. It's like, no. I made the point that, no, I've greeted at church for years. I can't do that one week and be invited back the next week. I can't meet some little old lady, hey, welcome to church, really nice to see ya, with the, it's really awesome, so glad you're here. You feel the bones in your hand fusing together right now. That's the kind of family we have at this church. We are so happy that you're here. I would be crying too. I'm so happy. Yes, I know. Here's some courtesy ice, and we'll see you in there, Ethel. Just I can't be doing stuff
be
like
that person.
But yeah, but stuff like that of like, well, wait a minute. I am stripping off armor. I am saying the quivering mass underneath. I'm Ben Webb. Joy and Purpose Comedy. Get to know me. This is my life. And there's the reward of, we want to learn more. What is it about it? You made me laugh. You made me feel joy. You made me forget about some things for a while. I relaxed a little bit. My anxiety's not as bad. Whatever it is they shared with me. Like, so that kind of reward is, okay, that's a good lesson. I want to keep learning how to be that vulnerable so I can get that reaction. So.
Yeah. And so you're writing all of your own material.
Oh yeah.
Right. But it's not uncommon for people to have material written for them. Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's not uncommon at all.
Really?
No.
There's a lot of people that have writers for them that are famous.
Oh yeah. There's and we suggest some things to each other from time to time with different conversations. You know that one joke there? I just kept thinking about it. What about adding a pause here or saying this or every now and then? And that takes some time because when they're just getting to know you, they don't know if you're serious.
Yeah.
They don't know who you are.
Right.
But if you've been at it for a while, you've been in the trenches, you've bombed and you've come back and you've killed and you've done all that. Okay, I think this guy is here. He might be willing to hear this. And I've had a few of them suggest some stuff that have made some okay jokes. Awesome. Yeah. And I try with respect. I less than 2 years, I try to be really, really careful about finding that line between being assertive, because I know what I can do. I provide a good show, but also knowing to not be disrespectful or to come across as such. And so it's like if I suggest an addition to a joke or so to somebody that's doing it for 15, 20 years, it's like, who am I? But if they have that kind of respect, if they get to know you a little bit, especially if you're loving others as Christ loves us and all there is that respect that builds up sooner, and they will at least hear you. And I'm like, wow, that's a great life lesson.
Yeah. I was about to ask you, greatest advice that you received as far as this craft is concerned.
Wow.
Or at least, or what's some good advice that somebody has given to you that you've taken and you found that it's just golden.
I'd say something that I touched on a little earlier is we are not in the business of fantasy. We can embellish the truth. We can twist things. We can take ridiculous turns. Whatever it takes to kind of go for the laughs. That's all well and good. But when it comes to growth, you have got to be brutally honest. We as comedians, when we do our job well, we hold up a mirror to you guys because we don't flinch from the truth. We're showing you things that you're ignoring in the world and reflecting it back like, wait a minute, why do we do that? Why do we say that? I just treated you like that last night. Why do I do that? That kind of thing. And so to love the truth enough not to flinch from it. So to be brutally honest in your assessment. If you thought the joke was great, awesome. I'm glad you have high opinions of it. How did it actually do in front of this crowd? Try it again elsewhere. If it's not working, you have got to be willing to get rid of it, change it, or try other stuff. And so that brutal honesty, it's like it helps you to detach a little bit. Because, jokes can feel like your baby. I'm sure you have a few songs that, man, you can visualize it being successful. You can visualize a whole crowd singing along with it, and for whatever reason, it doesn't work with the beat. You have a hard time getting into it, singing it, whatever it is, you have to set it aside or leave it alone. But that brutal honesty it frees you to be more creative and think of other stuff. That was a huge one that I heard. Yeah.
That's huge. Hey, Flyness, I'm going to get into some music real quick, and then we'll come back. As we go into the music, I'm going to ask you a question while we get into the music to see if you feel comfortable with actually answering this particular question. It's not even a crazy question. I just want to see how much you're willing to kind of like unleash. So we're going to get into some music, and I'm going to prep Ben for the next question, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Sounds good to me. It's Humble Kingz Radio.
Scott Sims here, and you are rocking with Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show.
I was made for this. 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 I was made for this.
I was made for this. Made for this. So many stairs in my life, I learned you gotta elevate. Tired of going through the drama, so I had to innovate. Anyway, I ain't got the time for it. Keep it moving consciously. Constantly, I'm thinking about improving. Ever since they told me I wasn't good enough, hood enough. Mama told me you better grind if you need to. Mama always told me they be friends when they need you. And I was hard-headed on the block, like we peoples. Watching out for idols, never had one. Closest thing probably was my cousin, but imagine nights I cried tears, trying to be the one he bragged on. I was on the block, rough riding like I'm drag on. Quick to have a temper if they tempted me, ready for whatever when they mention me, And when they told me I'd never make it, I was starting to believe it. But then I found G's standing in the crowd trying to break away, I remember I craved for this, searching through the clouds for a brighter day. Yeah, I tried to tell him I was made for this, praying for the moment I could make a way. Yeah, I remember I prayed for this, looking up to God for a better way. Yeah, I had to tell him I was made for this. Don't nobody see you when you grinding, it's all timing. Going through the struggle, falling off and steady climbing. They told me I was tripping when I said who I was following. Following the prophet, they was cool when it was contraband. Ain't nobody else help me when I needed up. Pointing with my fingers to the clouds, leave it up so they know the one who did it. I just witnessed what was written, he was risen. Now I'm living, giving everything I didn't, so they know I'm never kidding. Spitting every single fact. I don't race, skip a race, it don't matter if I'm black. Struggling to live, and I know who had my back. So before you come around talking like you know the facts, just know the Lord, y'all picked me up when I was flatline. I remember I was praying for the best lines, tryna rap, tryna trap, tryna mix it up. So why you hating? Cause he fixed me up. Standing in the crowd tryna break away, I remember I craved for this, searching through the clouds for a brighter day. Yeah, I tried to tell him I was made for this, praying for the moment I could make a way. Yeah, I remember I prayed for this, looking up to God for a better way. Yeah, I had to tell him I was made for this. 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 Made for this.
Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show, The Humble Kingz.
And we are back, Humble Kingz Radio, T. Barlow, DJ Flyness on the ones and twos, and also Ben Webb, our special guest for this evening, who has been talking about his craft of being on the stage. And you were just talking about just being brutally honest. And so it made me think about something, and I wanted to ask and make sure you was comfortable with even answering this type of a question. It made me think about like the recent like Dave Chappelle special or his specials period, because Dave Chappelle is Dave Chappelle. I mean, he's just one of those guys you got to know what you're going to get when you get ready to see Dave Chappelle. And I asked you if you saw the episode, saw his last special. You say you saw some bits and pieces. That type of brutal honesty that he had, like what would, like, as a comedian or as a comic or however, like, what's your immediate thoughts when you hear and see that type of brutal honesty from a comedian?
That thing, my first reaction is almost always respect, because I know what it takes to get up there, period, let alone be that willing to get up and go there. I may not, I have some jokes that certainly earlier on, I'm not sure if I'll keep all of them. I know they do well because I've tested them out, and they're strong stuff. But it's like where I'm going, I know eventually I might need to let things go. But my initial reaction as a comedian is, man, freedom of speech, freedom of ideas. If you strongly disagree, makes you feel something, makes you react, makes you think. More of that. We need less reaction, and we need more thoughtful contemplation and interaction. We have got to learn how to talk to each other again. And so if that helps us to laugh first while we're thinking. Like the one of the bits and pieces I saw, and I've seen it several times just because it's so brilliant how he did it, was the Jussie Smollett case. And
Justice for Justice.
Smollett. Juicy.
Yeah, the way he even started that with the twisting of the name was so ridiculous. People knew immediately what he was bringing up, and he did this with when he was talking about Michael Jackson or OJ. He will plainly state facts. And then, as comedians do, he patiently will take... They may not always be right angles, but they may be ridiculous, but comedians will then say, okay, this is what we know, this is what things is. Have you looked at it this way? Have you looked at it that way? If you look at it that way, they look pretty bad. They look pretty guilty. But he was asking really good questions, and you saw how the crowd reacted of, you know what? That is a great point. That is, I love that, how you were able to lay out the truth and be able to laugh at it. That to be able to dare to say, I want you to go with me and not flinch at what I'm going to say and be able to see the funny in it and realize at the end we are together and we survived. Look what happened. We're fine. If anything, we're stronger.
I feel like it's weird. It's so weird this day and age. It's like we're surrounded by cowards. And crybabies, and this is no insult to the people to whom the shoe does not fit, but it's like we're surrounded by cowards and crybabies. Cancel culture is a horrific thing, I think, because it's like now you're snatching away our freedom to have dialogue. It's granted, like I would love for everybody to agree with me on everything that I believe, but I know that's not the reality. And so since that's not the reality, we still live in the same world. We still have to be able to converse with each other, still talk with each other. And I think comedy has always been a thing where it's like, yo, we're going to say the taboo stuff, the taboo topics. We're going to talk about the taboo topics, and we're going to laugh at it. And it's funny, like I was, in my previous job, worked with some students, and it was in a group home, and these girls, different races and different ethnicities, so to speak, rather. And one of the things with me is once they got to know me, I got to the point where it's like, oh, we're gonna make ethnic jokes, but we're gonna understand, like, yo, like, it's not from a place of hate. It's actually more so from a place of like, yo, this is what's beautiful about your culture, and this is what's different about our cultures, and this is what makes that funny. So, like, for example, I could be sitting at a table with like some Mexican students, a couple of my Mexican students and whatnot, and we could be eating tacos that was cooked there by the kitchen, which actually, tastes absolutely horrible. But I would look at my Mexican student and I'd be like, just like abuela used to make, see? And she'd be like, no, there's nothing like my grandmother used to make, I had a Native American student, they get home passes. I was like, so you about to go on your TP pass? Her grandmother thought that was the most hilarious thing on earth, and it's just like, these are differences.
Her toilet paper pass.
No, TP.
I know, I'm messing with you, bro.
Stop. You know what? Don't ever get on the stage. I'd hit you with an orange myself.
Like, orange, a tomato, you mean?
No, orange, man. I'm bringing something that's going to hurt.
With flu and coronavirus, you need the vitamin C. So
right. Oh, okay. Are you over there hacking your life?
I told my wife the other day, I got a confession to make, and she was like, what? I said, I cheated on you with a Chinese girl.
You breathe it?
Yeah.
Now, she knew it was a lie. She's like, don't nobody else want you.
Yeah.
Nah, man. But no, but you're right though. I mean, like I said, it's just being able to poke fun at things, and you also go. I mean, if you're willing to do that, like, towards other people, you also got to be willing to do it towards yourself.
Yeah. You got to be able to have that. Yeah, some of it is just. Because you can't help it if you're going to be brutally honest about everything else. You got to be able to look in the mirror yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to flinch from that. And here's and some of the better jokes that some of the comedians have around there. When I think of their face, I think of their self-deprecating joke or something like that's spot on. And there was one last night where this dude he was he's a co-host of a podcast, and he recently came on to become like the permanent co-host. And it was about his turn to get up on stage to do the open mic stuff, and just something real casual. The hostess described him as he's a very funny guy. He's done this like a show credit type thing, and he's a really handsome podcast boy. And he just about lost it just with the way that it was built up and all that. But be able to laugh at yourself and be able to invite people to say, here's something dumb I did. All that. Yeah, it means a lot to people to be able to do that.
Yeah, man. So, folks, you guys have been listening to Ben Webb. We're getting ready to wrap up here real quick. Can you tell the folks how they can find you, where they can catch you, some things that you may be involved, anything that you want them to know, like social media contacts or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. Ben Webb, Joy on Purpose Comedy. I've got a YouTube channel with that name. I'd love for you to just go subscribe, check out some of the videos from the Comedy Mafia show. Got about 4 or 5 of them up there.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah, it's a really fun time. Instagram, Ben Webb _ Joy on Purpose Comedy. Joy on Purpose, sorry. Love to connect with you there. I do stand-up open mics and different shows around there. I have improv every Friday. I'm either performing for Outside the Box at 7 p.m. first and third Fridays, or Roll the Dice, where the audience members literally roll a pair of dice and you decide what games we play. And that's every second and fourth Friday at 8:30. All of those at Big Canvas Theater and the Blackstone Commons. And I just got done acting in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest up for the Florentine Players in Florence. And so coming up soon, I will be a part of their 56th annual melodrama up there. So we're going to be doing a read-through for that next week and just go ahead and start the rehearsals. So I'm a busy dude, but I'd love to connect with you and bless you in any way that I possibly can.
Wow. That's what's up. That's what's up. Flyness, you want to invite him to church real quick?
Yeah, let's go to Church Excuse.
Hey! Every time I call you, every time I call, so you can get your praise up. Something always come up, you make excuses so you can come with me. Every time I call you to come with me, so you can get your praise on. Something always come up, you make excuses so you can.
All right, Ben, invite me to church.
All right, yes, sir. Well, for DJ Flyness and T. Barlow, I would love for you to come to Providence Church. This is a young kind of church plant, about a little over 3 years old, and it's on the UNO campus at the Alumni Center. This is a church plant by City Light Midtown and Christ Community Church with the Christian Missionary Alliance, and they have a heart to go into the nations. We believe that we're pursuing something called In Omaha as in Heaven, to be able to go out and take the gospel anywhere that we possibly can. So we got college ministry. We have a partnership with Global Friends, which is an international student ministry. Right now, we have one of our pastors and a number of leaders from the leadership team going on a vision trip to Japan, Thailand, and elsewhere to see where we can better help out. This is a hungry church. All kinds of ages, races, all of it. We're on the same team, and we love each other. And it would be fantastic if you can help us grow and come be a part of that team.
I don't know. It don't sound like your denomination is right for me.
Well, that's all right. Well, if anything you want to know, I'll be willing to. I'm learning it myself. I am learning how to be accredited and licensed to be a worker. So I am literally reading the books, going through it, and learning it myself. If you'd like to, please continue going to your own church for a while, but I would love to share some meals with you. If I could buy a lunch for you or some coffee, let's study it together and learn together and see if that would be a good fit.
That was a fire response.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was real good.
Because mine was going to be mean.
Yeah, what was it?
I was going to be like, your denomination ain't right for you. No, I was playing. No, I was playing. Yo. Humble Kingz Radio. You know I'm going to say something off the wall at some point. Yeah. Hey, are we good?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for rocking with us. Instagram.
Say word.
Rocking with us live.
Word. Yeah, Ben Webb. Yeah, we thank you for coming on. You guys, man, be sure to rewind the video if you missed any of his information that he just shared, so you guys can go ahead and catch that. Let's see. We want to thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. Yeah. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you right here with us on the Humble Kingz Radio Show.
You almost got it. There it is.
Oh, right here?
Yep.
This is my cue?
Yep.
All right. I just want to thank everybody for rocking with us on the Humble Kingz radio show. Could have been anywhere else in the world, but you right here with us to the praise of his glorious grace. Ben Webb in the house. Hey, DJ Flyness in the house. T. Barlow rocks the mic.
Humble Kingz radio show.
All right, let's get a post song going. Barlow still watching on Facebook.
I am hot now.
We still haven't got kicked off on Instagram yet.
We haven't?
So we're still good.
We haven't got kicked off. It's the first time we haven't got kicked off of Instagram.
Every time I pull up, yeah. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, yeah. Every time I pull up, let me show you what the scene like. Pull up to the spot in the car that you never seen like. Double cup, swisher full of purple, see me lean like. Always on that gold rush, you know I'm a fiend, right? I just described every song on the freaking radio. Destroy the youth, but stack that paper, guys, huh? Way to go. Flexing so they know we gonna see them when they ride through. Theme music, I ain't hating, this is what we ride to. In the hood, teach them how to be fools. And the kids in the suburbs, how to be cool. I don't blame them, no, I know it's deeper than rap. I can't just do a song and fix it, it's much deeper than that. On the heart of man is evil in the world to make it better. They got chains all on their chest, but deep down you know that they beggars. We despise wisdom, glorify lies, leading us to hell, but we turn that track on high. Tell them, every time I pull up, they be like, they shouting, what you on? Play that song and so you know that one, now that's my favorite song. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up. Every time I pull up, they be like, they shouting, what you on? Play that song and so you know that one, now that's my favorite song. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up.
I got that front, back, and side to side. Trunk cracking, sounding loud. Ride around my side of time. Beat up these streets, bro, speed up. Pedal to the metal, time screaming. I skirt. Every time I pull up, car full up. We in here folded deep, no sleep. H-time we cruising. Northside that Houston. Beat loud, we booming. Please excuse my intrusion. Yeah, slow-mo, we moving. So slow, confusing. All those that zoom in, so I hit the brake. They do a double take. That where I'm from, that's every day. Where I'm from, they advocate. Candy paint, pop that trunk and turn it up. Let freedom reign. Different than your average. They after praise and accolades. Me too, dude, but I'm through with being a fool, trying to prove I had it made. That's why I'm on the block. Yeah, that's why my car gon' knock. Man, cause you gon' get this work, whether you like it or not. You can mock. We ain't shook no earthquake, just aftershock. Spit these power lines, they shot. Every time I pull up, stop.
Every time I pull up, they be like, they shouting, what you on? Play that song and so you know that one, now that's my favorite song. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up. Every time I pull up, they be like, they shouting, what you on? Play that song and so you know that one, now that's my favorite song. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up.
Got it, knock it, right. Pulling up with my partner. My little cousin right now with a probation violation in his pocket. I can smell the purple in the air. See the hate in their eyes. Know that you still chop yo. That's why I was leaning hope trying to sever these ties. Force fed the little homies. You don't really want it. That couple purple get your fed time. You ain't trying to get lost in that county. Young kings in them polo tees. Young queen in that Michael Kors. No price tag on what we endorse. Cause this freedom cousin you can't afford. My old man got work for it. Here's them in his side. Mama sent me to church school, put me in that choir. So when them bullets run and hit my little brother cry, left my pistol in the house and told the shooter by God, who saves us? Pray to God he built it, cause I meant it when I said it. That false teaching get embedded. It's infectious if you let it. Slinging antibiotics, no mileage, pop pregnant zones, and now the histamine blockers. Lock up, lock up, lock up, lock up, lock up, lock up.
Every time I pull up, they be like, they shouting, what you on? Play that song and so you know that one, now that's my favorite song. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up. Every time I pull up, they be like, they shouting, what you on? Play that song and so you know that one, now that's my favorite song. Every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up, every time I pull up.
Like that gets like, man, like this is like I want them to realize like, yo, it's okay to have fun as a Christian. Like it's not sinful to have fun. Yeah.
You go to a Jarrell Roach show and you can't help it.
You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real.
Deep breath as I cross the street. What's on the other side? Right across the street. Double cross. Homie had a cross on his necklace. Thought I could trust him. Cross-examination. I take back that last statement. Boiling point. I could feel the lack of patience. Planets in habitation. Panic and passive hatred. Go off the top in the battle. Get decapitated. They don't hurt you on accident. It's all premeditated. They had it all planned out. I wanna fly away, but I can feel gravity and the depravity of my humanity. I feel trapped in a bubble or a square. Then I complain like the struggle ain't fair. Cities destroyed by tsunamis. Different forms of despair, like my issues don't compare.
You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. And I can feel it. And I can feel it. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. And I can feel it.
I let the cat out the bag, my life was getting hard. It's still raining cats and dogs on the boulevard of broken dreams, chasing after light beams, staying close to my shadow. Keep your enemies close, raising my daughter in a broken home. And when she's not with me, I'm just home alone. Might get a few calls on my mobile phone, but I keep it on silent when I'm in the zone. I zone out when the beat come in. Speak life over death, that's why I can't sleep. Cousin face problems like a man can't keep running. Blood, sweat, and tears, you really wanna bleed from it. This is my job. I keep my shirt tucked in, but I never punch out. Sometimes I punch in. I feel the weight of this fallen world. I know you feel it too. The Lord is my refuge, redemption, and rescue.
You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. And I can feel it. And I can feel it. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. You're feeling like real. And I can feel it. And I can feel it. You're feeling like. You're feeling like. You're feeling like real.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like
just fantastic.
These
All right,
guys,
good night, everybody.
They are
Yes.
geniuses. Like
We'll
honestly,
see you
some of the
next
stuff that they
week.
say just had me just be like, first of all, some
What
of it is
Flyness said.
like this doesn't even seem like it's far from the truth. Like, right?
The one I saw today was brutally honest.